We're gonna look at a couple players dropping. We'll get me a chair up in here after the next couple rounds. Once a couple people decide to leave.
Yeah, I was sitting on a box last round.
Yeah, absolutely. It is packed. We actually ended up accommodating 5 more players than what the cap originally was. Know that some people drove out here with certain assumptions that they would be able to enter, and that's always a hard thing. Like I was saying before round 1. So yeah, we're getting underway. What was the feature matches that we ended up picking? What are the decks?
All right, we've got Mardu Control or Mardu Nahiri.
Who's that? Who's on that?
That would be Nathaniel Monsees. Is a player I know. He was 13th at GP Vegas, the modern portion, just this couple weeks ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really really good. All right,
Eng is on the right.
Okay, and then that would be the other player we have, Edward Eng. What is he on? What does it look like we have him on? He's on Burn.
Yep.
He's on Burn. I mean, the minute I saw Goblin Guide, it was
pretty easy to know. Yep.
Let's see if his sideboard is, pretty standard. He actually has 3 ensnaring bridges in the sideboard. Some tech that Burn's been implementing.
Ooh, sounds good against Eldrazi. Probably quite good in this matchup, actually, with that Emrakul at the top of the deck list there.
Oh.
Let's go.
Emrakul, is that how we're pronouncing it?
That's how we're doing it today.
Awesome. So, yeah, we have kind of a toolboxy sort of Mardu control deck from Nathaniel. It looks like a lot of 1-ofs.
Yes.
But if he's played it to great avail, that's awesome.
This is not the deck that he did so well with at that GP. He was playing Grixis Death Shadow then.
Oh, of course, Grixis Death Shadow being an awesome toolbox in itself. So,
yeah.
So he's pretty familiar with this type of control, doing what he can. Looks like we have a Dreadbore main board. That's pretty cool. 1 Rakdos' return main board.
Woo! Oh, we see that.
Deal.
I missed that card.
Black-red pseudo Sphinx's Rev. It's like the opposite Sphinx's Rev, right?
Yep.
I like this. I love Mardu. Mardu's my favorite color pairing. It just
I think it's my second favorite 3-color combination.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Grixis being my favorite, of course.
So we're actually going to get over to the match here so I can sit down on this box.
Yeah, all right, let's put that up.
Yeah. Let's see if we can position Nathaniel's name a little bit more
Oh,
to
it's
the
quite
left.
long there. I'm going to have to...
Just a little bit more to the left. All right. So... what anti-burn pieces are we looking at for Nathaniel's deck? Does he have a Lightning Helix?
Let's see.
He does have Lightning Bolt. He has 1 Crackling Doom. He does have 2 Lightning Helixes.
All right.
So he may be able to stem the bleeding, but he is going to be fetching and shocking. Looks like he also has a Shambling Vent.
Let's see. We've got 2 Anger the Gods main.
He's playing a Liliana's Defeat sideboard. It would be a new card.
Liliana's Defeat. I'm going to have to look that one up.
Okay, so I actually know this. 1 mana.
Okay.
Sorcery speed. You either destroy a Liliana Planeswalker.
Okay.
Or a black creature. And if it was a Liliana Planeswalker, your opponent loses 3.
Okay.
Right? Pretty good against the Liliana of the Veil. I mean, this is a Liliana format. Even Liliana the Last Hope seeing play. Right?
She is, in fact. Okay.
All right, so we're getting underway here. I'm going to see what each player is looking to do. And it looks like we have Burn on the play.
Always where Burn wants to... No, that was...
No.
They've told us incorrectly.
These
names are on the wrong side.
All right, so we'll get that adjusted real quick. So it looks like we're going to have actually Burn on the draw. What land entered tap there for Nathaniel?
That is the red-black manland from Worldwake.
What does that one do?
It's a 2/2 with essentially fire breathing, I believe.
Okay.
That activates for, I want to say, 3.
He's going to serve in. There's going to be a Thoughtseize on the top. Nathaniel taking 2 off of his shock land
there we
that
go.
turn. So, Edward taking 2 off of his shock land. So. Edward's on pretty regular Naya burn, playing the Revelries in the sideboard, of course. But not going to be super relevant this matchup. The green mana. See if
Mountain Pass from Nathaniel for his turn 2.
Let's see, he's actually playing a 4 of Lightning Helix instead of a Target's Command. So yeah, the only green is Revelry. Alright. Burn being the deck I'm currently on, but I'm on a black-based version, so it's Mardu Burn.
Right.
And I play Bump in the Night as another pseudo Lava Spike. All right, so we have a Bloodstained Mire coming down for Edward. See how he wants to sequence. So you personally, I know my preference. You jam Eidolon right here?
I think I would, generally speaking. See, we got a fetch crack here. No?
See, it looks like he's just determining what he's going to go
It looks like a textless Searing Blaze in hand. So he was thinking about his landfall triggers possibly for the future.
Yeah.
But decided to go ahead and crack it anyway. Now there's a Sacred Foundry. Looks like a shock.
May be able to hear in the background we're already getting judge calls. As we
The
do,
round's only 2 minutes old.
I'd like to shout out to Jonathan Reasoner and
Oh, absolutely.
and the secondary judge. So, we'll
shout her out by name here in a few.
And I'd also like to shout out to everyone that's been subscribing. We have tons of people that are following our channel, subscribing. That's awesome that y'all are keeping up with this sort of thing. At the store level, I know it's a little wonky, but it's something we want to try. So Terminate, that's going to deal 2 to Nathaniel. Nathaniel should be at 14. He's taken 4 from the Goblin Guide. And now he should be at 12 because of the Thoughtseize. So we're going to see full grip here. It's going to be Lava Spike, Eidolon, Rift Bolt, Assigned Monastery Swift Spear, and Searing Blaze. Of course, using everything that's available to you, you're in competitive play, you should more than likely write down your opponent's hand.
Yeah, every time. Now, what would you take here? Or as the burn player, what would you most like him to not take?
I would most like him to not take the Eidolon, and yeah, that looks like that's going to be the choice.
Yeah.
It's Eidolon, especially in multiples, but even just by itself, like you saw, it demanded removal.
Andrea Wallace is the other judge. Thank you very much.
Awesome. So Andrea Wallace, thank you so much for coming out for this. Jonathan and Andrea being amazing judges from my experience.
Oh yeah, I've had nothing but good experiences with them as a player.
We're going to see how Edward wants to sequence this turn. Nathaniel's stuck on 2 mana in a control deck.
Not where you want to be, of course.
Absolutely not.
And as a non-blue control deck, he doesn't have cantrips he can fall back on. There's a Lava Spike.
So that's going to trigger the Prowess on the Monastery Swift Spear, and he's going to swing in for 4. Let's see if Nathaniel has a Bolt to respond with. Going to get the reveal. There's the land he was looking for.
Alright, he's getting a land. It's going to bring him white mana.
This, he's taking. He does not have the Bolt. Wow. So he's looking to fetch, play Lightning Helix if he's got it.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to get taken down to 1 right here. Assumptively, the Lava Spike is about to come out of Edward's hand. Or the Rift Bolt. Yeah, he's going to suspend the Rift Bolt. It optimizes more damage the next turn.
Yeah, it gives him the prowess trigger on his Swift Spear.
Yeah, Nathaniel's just going to scoop. So we're gonna look at sideboards here. I'll take the burn player, considering that's what I'm on. If you want to take Mardu control, so tell me real quick, what is Nathaniel looking slide? And I see Collective Brutality.
Yeah, I believe that'll be coming in as well.
Duress,
quite good.
It seems good over the Thoughtseize. Blessed Alliance, even getting
Blessed Alliance. Yep.
Let's see.
It looks like that might be it.
Might be it. Those are pretty good.
Maybe
pieces.
an Eidolon of Rhetoric. It has a 4-butt.
Yeah.
So it blocks pretty well in the matchup.
So we're gonna move over, and that's what I expect to see coming out, coming in the matchup for Nathaniel. So looking over here, Edward doesn't really know what creatures Nathaniel's playing, so I'm not expecting Deflecting Ball.
He didn't really see anything.
I'm not expecting Revelry. Maybe some number of conditional paths is warranted.
Okay.
Just to make sure.
If he thinks his opponent is
on a high-end control deck.
Right, which I don't think he got enough information to make that decision, except maybe he saw a Thoughtseize.
Thoughtseize Terminate. I mean,
yeah,
he's sort of hedge off of that. So possibly Core Firewalker, right?
Maybe
he only saw red-black.
Yeah.
Right, so there's the possibility that Core Firewalker comes in here.
He might think that Nathaniel's on some strange red-black mid-range deck.
Yeah.
Just didn't find his lands. We won't know until we see what's going on here.
I don't know, personally,
Looks like he's taking out Eidolons, which I'm not sure I can agree with.
Yeah, I don't know if personally I even sideboard.
After what you saw, if you don't know, I don't really think there's any... You don't have really any information to go off on, really.
Yeah, and so I would just leave my main board optimal.
Mm-hmm. Maybe because you're on the draw, maybe you shave a land.
Eidolon typically gets worse on the draw, too.
Yeah, and maybe you shave a land.
Right. Let's see what ends up happening here. Of course, let's see how many fetches Edward is playing. It's always interesting to see how many fetches the Burn deck plays. So we have 4 Wooded Foothills, 4 Bloodstained Mires, and 3 Arid Mesas. So pretty
11.
Fetch heavy.
Yep.
I play 9 personally, but I play more fast lands. I play the red-black fast land.
Oh, you played that one as well as the red-white?
I don't play the red-white.
Oh, you play the red-black instead.
Yeah, and I play one...
I guess because you're playing the
blood,
bumps.
one Blood Crypt, and then Sacred Foundries are my other. And 3 basic mountains.
Okay. And no, Paul, we're not going to announce the new characters for MVCI. I see you in chat. We don't have the hookup with Capcom like that.
Alright. Make sure we are streaming Magic the Gathering, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I mean, I know that personally we're streaming Magic the Gathering. I want to make sure for the sake of Twitch that...
Yeah,
no one
Twitch knows what we're doing.
No one thinks we're playing Overwatch today, right? Alright, let's get going. Pretty quick. We're probably going to have to keep up with live totals. Our nice, clean playmat getting brushed off there. Do we have a first turn duress?
Let's go.
Exactly what we expected to come in there. And promo duress, nonetheless. Oh, man, we are rhyming. We're on a roll. We're on a roll, personally. What's the take? Looks like Skullcrack. Is it Searing Blaze? Lightning Helix, Lava Spike, Swift Spear.
I think I take the Lava Spike, unless you want to take away the Searing Blaze. If you don't have a reason to take away Searing Blaze, then you definitely just take Lava Spike.
All right, so looks like we have the ability to
Took
get
the
some
Skull Crack. You might have some life gain there.
Exactly, you might have some helixes in hand. So if you were to get a snow cone flavor, what would it be on a hot day like today?
Oh, lemon lime. Definitely.
Lemon lime.
That's right. All right, we got Mountain into Swift Spear, and it looks like the duress did take Skull Crack. Land pass from Nathaniel.
Edward's playing the correct mountain. He's playing the same one I do. Beautiful, beautiful art.
It is very nice. You see, we got
I love the old brown border for the foils.
for anything.
For anything.
Yeah, I hate new frame.
Even newer frame with the larger like black part at the bottom. All right, we're gonna have a Lava Spike and a Prowess trigger. We'll get Nathaniel's life total corrected. So he took 1 the first turn, correct? So he's taking 3 more, so we at 16. And he's taking 2 more, unless he has a response.
Doesn't look like it.
It's hard. It's hard to gauge responding when they can trigger Prowess again. Looks like Edward's going to opt to try to trigger Prowess again. See if he has something.
Just going ahead and fetching basic.
Grabbing basic mountain, even with Helix in hand. Interesting.
He has Sacred Foundry already in hand. And there's a Lightning Bolt.
There's a Lightning Bolt. Okay, so that was a bolt. That was the, was it Player's Reward bolt?
Yep, and Fatal Push.
Fatal Push.
On Swift Spear.
Alright, so he did not take the damage from Swift Spear. So he should have actually only taken 5, 6, 7. 7 total in the entire game.
Yeah.
So the other Skullcrack's going to get taken. So it does look like Nathaniel's probably hedging on Lightning Helix, knowing that he has a main board. And it being just a very potent card in the matchup.
Yeah, quite good.
Nathaniel's doing a great job of tearing apart Edward's hand, though. He doesn't have much here anymore. Kind of low on resources. So we're going to have a Suspended Rift Bolt. He's going to put the counter on top of his deck.
And Lightning Helix, end of turn.
Okay, so he's going to gain 3 and go to 21. And Nathaniel's going to...
Nathaniel drops to 10.
He should be at 20, because Edward did fetch at one point, and he shocked that Sacred Foundry, correct?
He's fetched twice, and if he just shocked, then he should be at 19.
Exactly.
All right. Is that a suspended Rift Bolt there? Or
Yep.
He didn't suspend it, just hard cast.
So that was 2 Rift Bolts that came out of him at Nathaniel's face, one on the upkeep and one there. With Goblin Guide, trigger. Nathaniel just getting stuck on mana here. It's going to be a Blessed Alliance for the reveal. So it did look like we sideboarded correctly.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Nathaniel.
Now, if Nathaniel takes this Goblin Guide to the face, it's 2 damage. Fatal Push, alright. So he's still at 4 life.
A Boros Charm just kills him. The top deck Boros Charm happens. Often. Are Nathaniel's fetches dead?
Yes. Too many of Edward's cards.
This is gonna be a quick round. Unless Nathaniel can stabilize with like Blessed Alliance or Lightning Helix.
That's a Lightning Bolt off the top.
So it's gonna be Needle Spire. It's gonna be a red-white.
Looks like Edward's gonna slow roll it. There's
Shambling
the Manland.
Vent.
That's got lifelink.
Yes, sir. One of actually my favorite man land.
Yeah.
Originally Creeping Tar Pit.
Okay,
Raging Ravine's up there though.
I mean, but the blue-white one has flying and vigilance. It's ridiculous.
So is Edward is waiting to respond to whatever Nathaniel tries to do, right?
Yes.
What does Edward have in hand? Just Bolt?
Yeah, Bolt Sacred Foundry.
Ooh.
And there's a Lingering Soul sitting in the graveyard for Nathaniel.
He's going to discard to hand size, and he actually will get to do some great shenanigans with that. I don't agree that Nathaniel should be letting Edward draw cards here. It just gets worse, right?
What is that?
That's a Rest in Peace. He boarded in Rest in Peace, hedging that it's a graveyard strategy.
Reasonable decision.
Yeah, we'll definitely not fault the player for that. That's perfectly reasonable. Wow. So,
I think he's debating about playing this Rest in Peace. And
yeah,
there
he's gonna play it. So he's gonna announce, which was a weird thing that happened recently, or fairly recently, kind of a couple months ago. But this guy was on dredge, and because his opponent didn't announce the Rest in Peace trigger, he didn't exile his graveyard, and the judges let him have his graveyard.
That's just
sad, right?
That's just strange.
It was a really sad moment. He's gonna discard another Lingering Souls. He didn't get to flash the other one back.
No, didn't have a chance.
Boros Charm, Lightning Bolt. This is the reason Nathaniel shouldn't have waited.
I don't think it mattered.
He needs to have Blessed Alliance.
Okay. That gains how much?
We'll have to double check that real quick.
I think it's 4.
I believe it's 4.
I believe it's 4.
Just gonna mute the Boros Charm. So maybe, hopefully, Nathaniel just starts advancing. He needs to.
See, he's dropping 3 mana here.
Whoa. What is this interesting card? Looks like it's going to adjust life totals.
Did he just gain some more life?
Is that Oketra's Last Mercy?
That's what it looks like.
Alright, well, let's double check Oketra's Last Mercy. It have to be, because it has the stamp at the bottom. And his lands didn't untap, so it is Oketra's Last Mercy.
Your life total becomes equal to your starting life total.
Oh my goodness.
Woo!
Let's go.
Where's your skull cracks now?
Okay, so he's going to get Boros Charm, so he should be at 16 now. Wow.
That card is insane in this matchup.
Wow, reset, right?
Yeah.
Nathaniel's just ahead here. And he has 2 Oketra's Last Mercies in his sideboard. One. He has one of each life gain spell in his sideboard. This is awesome.
Wow.
that is...
Showing 6 mana, here's a Gideon.
Gideon of the Trials. So what we were speaking about in the previous round.
Right.
It's going to allow him to not lose the game, which seems great in this matchup. That means the Gideon has to be answered. And it's going to allow him to attack. So he could be the aggressor.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
This game just turned on its head.
Yeah, that was a hard reset. I'd like to
Ketra's last
I'd like to
mercy.
apologize to the chat. I'm glad we got that what it did because we had a reader ourselves.
And we got a Gideon emblem in play.
Exactly. So unless that Gideon's answered, Nathaniel's not dying anytime soon. Not to mention the fact that he reset the game.
We got Lightning Helix, Lightning
if you're
Bolt, and
Edward,
Edwards.
are you just? How do you feel at this moment?
Here comes the Lightning Helix across the table.
Yeah, it's going at Gideon, so Edward's going to gain 3, and Nathaniel's going to stay where he was at.
So
Going
we
to
got
get that
16
Gideon
up.
off the table, but Nathaniel has multiple Gideons, so he's actually able. If he plays any other Gideon, it doesn't even have to be of the trials. The emblem's online. So if Ally of Zendikar comes down, the emblem still just sticks. And there
he is! Speak of the devil and he shall appear.
Wow, so Nathaniel went from behind on lands, and we have
Checking the interaction right there.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a 2-2. Yeah?
Yeah, you make the 2-2. It looks like he plus to get it to 5. Maybe so Boris Charm doesn't redirect.
Yeah. That's reasonable.
Wow, shout out to everyone in the chat. This is an amazing game.
This is getting pretty crazy.
We have Edward sequencing his lands at the top of his board now, which in professional play on commentary you're not allowed to.
It's not like he's got any creatures.
Yeah, that's true. It's a formatting thing, if anything. If I were Edward, I would be very discouraged at this point in the game.
Yes.
You're very behind. Of course, you always have the fact of going to time, stuff like that. So you keep playing in a competitive setting.
Yeah, because you won game 1, yeah, of course.
He's gonna move into combat with that Gideon, and he hasn't swung yet.
Looks like Edward's thinking about responding to the trigger there, the activation.
We have Edward reading the interactions of Gideon Ally of Zendikar, seeing how big he becomes. I think he's gonna Boros Charm in response. Alright, so we got the Gideon off board before it attack, or in response to the triggered ability. Because
so
at that
Nathaniel
point,
just plays Nahiri.
Yeah. Discard path, it's dead, draw a card.
Right.
Wow. He's definitely on. I would almost call this Mardu Super Friends, seeing how many walkers he plays.
Yeah, and he does have the full Nahiri package as well. He's got the Emrakul.
And he also has the Johnny Vengeant. I'm a huge fan of.
That card's spicy.
Johnny Vengeant is just like the best of a lot of cards.
Yes.
Alright, so we're checking graveyards. Competitive play here, just you want to make sure you cover all your bases.
We're checking exile zones, technically.
Yeah, exile zones. Nathaniel correctly turning exile zone sideways. He's going to discard Crackling Doom and draw a card. Edward just now Edward knows, right?
Yeah.
Now Edward knows exactly what Nathaniel's doing.
There's an animated Shambling Vents coming across the table.
We'll see if Edward has a response.
I don't think you can let the lifelink start if you ever want to win this game.
Yeah. So he's going to fetch. 15.
Expect a basic mountain here.
Yeah.
If he's got another one.
Yeah, he is on a fetch shock heavy version. And he's going to have Stomping Grounds tapped. He's going to trigger the Searing Blades in his hand.
Yes, he wants the landfall. That's what's happening here.
Which is the reason to leave the fetch up in the first place. So yeah, that Shambling Vent's not going to get in here for any sort of damage. And you are correct. Nathaniel's going to end up taking 3 off the Searing Blaze.
Yep. He didn't want to redirect to Nahiri.
Alright, Edward's trying. He's really trying to dig himself out of the situation. Inspiring Vantage looked like to draw the red-white fast lane.
Yep, that was just a pass there.
Here he's going to ult and...
Emrakul.
Yeah, we're seeing an Emrakul. And we're seeing a Scoop.
Going to game 3.
Wow. Ketra's Last Mercy.
Woohoo!
So,
quite the play.
Yeah.
Quite the play. Spicy tech.
Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. That was super, super spicy tech. So the fact that your lands don't untap, that's almost a minuscule thing compared to resetting the game, right?
Yeah, if you're going from 4 to 20, your opponent's got 2 cards in hand, no creatures in play. Seems good, man.
That's interesting. Interesting play there. So yeah, he did have the Nahiri Emrakul package. See if Nathaniel ends up boarding anymore. He's letting Edward read Emrakul since they've been on the battlefield.
For all of 5 seconds.
Yeah. The technical, the Annihilator would have just devastated Edward anyways.
Yeah, even if it wasn't lethal, just by virtue of being a 15/15.
So now Edward is thinking about deflecting Palm.
Yes.
Which it looks like he has in his 60 right now already.
And in case you're wondering, Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. This is OG, not the new version that came out in Shadows or Innistrad.
Hey, the new version Mindslavers. Watch your
right.
tone.
How dare you compare that card to Mindslaver? All right.
It does Mindslaver though.
It does not.
But it gives your opponent the extra turn, but you've already devastated their board. Anyways, it was banned for a reason. Continue.
This is not a Mindslaver. When you cast Emrakul, take an extra turn after this one. Of course, Nathaniel will not be casting it. But he also has Flying,
Never say never.
Protection from Colored Spells, and Annihilator 6 on a 15/15 body.
Which would, I believe, was all of Edward's lands at the time.
Yeah, I believe he had 5 in play.
Yeah.
And nothing else.
So the Annihilator just making it to where Edward has to rebuild, and at that point, yeah, let's go to game
impossible.
3. Let's go to game 3. Like let's make sure that we. All right. Yeah, we definitely did have a reader.
3 or 4 times even.
We had a reader for the players, and we had a reader for ourselves. Catcher's Last Mercy. Man,
Spicy.
Deal. I don't even need to untap. Like just deal.
This card, I get a feeling we're gonna be seeing going forward. We're gonna see it in a lot more sideboards.
Yeah, it reset the game on burn when burn was out of resources.
Yeah,
That's
he
amazing.
was
Even as
one
a
burn
one
spell
of,
away from
even
the
as a
win.
one of, it was worth it.
Yeah. He had 3 damage in hand while Nathaniel was at 4. He just needed to top deck a burn spell again.
All right, looks like we have Edward got up.
Possibly a bathroom break. Might be a judge question.
Yep. Maybe questioning the interactions with like deflecting palm, or maybe some other sort of interactions. Because deflecting palm target the source? Because if it does, then
Let's pull it up.
you don't get to target the Emrakul.
Ooh,
Right?
that's good.
That may be the question.
All right, let's read Deflecting Palm. The next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, prevent
Nope,
that
it's just
damage.
the source of your choice,
Okay,
not
yeah.
a target. Right?
No
I'm an
targets in
ad
that card.
nauseam player at heart.
Yep.
That's how that reads to me.
And then, of course, if damage is prevented this way, Deflecting Palm deals that much damage to that source's controller. So if you attack with an Emrakul, you punch yourself in the face for 15 if they Deflecting Palm it.
But he doesn't, or yes, he does get the deflecting moment, which is probably what he just asked to judge there. We'll see it. He may be looking for them. Or making sure that he boarded correctly. And Path's no good here.
No.
I mean,
Protection from colored spells is
It
a
does
pretty
hit-
strong sentence.
does hit like man lands. I like maybe some number. I think its Snaring Bridge is I think you want to be fast, especially since you're on the play.
Yeah.
I think its Snaring Bridge is just you would be diluting too much.
It's a little bit too clunky, yeah.
Yeah, I think you want to see it against more aggressive decks, not the control matchup. You just kind of want to beat them before they ult the Nahiri.
Right. Now, is he regretting not redirecting that Searing Blaze to Nahiri to prevent the immediate ult?
I think the minute he got rid of Gideon, which wasn't lethal at the time, and wasn't getting out of control, but he got rid of Gideon, and then Nahiri was the play right after.
Yeah.
He dumped Bolt and another card from his hand just to get rid of Gideon.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Looks like is that a mulligan from Nathaniel?
Yeah. Nathaniel kind of having a small amount of mana issues these games.
Yes. That Oketra's Mercy saved him from his early game mana troubles.
Yeah.
Game 2.
The minute he did find third land, it was right where he wanted to be. And what was Nathaniel looking for? You just hard mulligan until you find Last Mercy.
And lands to play it? I don't think so. Not with just the one in deck.
All right, we have a scry to the bottom, and let's get underway. So Edward is going to play an Inspiring Vantage. He's going to suspend a Rift Bolt. So it's going to be 3 on his next upkeep, right in Nathaniel's face. We have a fetch
land
and basic, possibly a duress coming from Nathaniel or an Inquisition.
And there's the duress.
Absolutely. Let's see what Edward's got.
Old school promo duress. Excellent choice. Now Nathaniel stood up. Question for a judge, maybe?
Possibly. See about making sure that it's a lot of speaking within the room. They should be unable to hear the commentary, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not quiet out there. 50 players? No.
No. So I imagine.
So what can we see of Edward's hand here? I see land up top.
Yeah,
Sacred Foundry.
Let me double check and see what's going on.
All right, Chad's gonna step out for just a second.
Do some investigating.
I see the judge over by the table. So what's going on out there?
All right, so what's going on out there is that we have a bathroom break.
After the game has started. All right.
All right, so we're gonna actually going to because Nathaniel is in the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure that we don't commentate on any of what we see in
Fair.
players' hands.
Yep.
Just in case. I know you know him personally. He's probably a trustworthy guy. Probably just has to pee. All right, and he's back, so we're good.
Yeah.
we weren't.
He's not pulling up the stream on his phone.
Yeah, guy. Just gotta make sure, especially in an operation like this.
Yeah. All right, so we see the duress here. He cast duress and then immediately went up to go to the bathroom. Now we've got lightning bolt, lava spike, eidolon, land.
Oof.
Eidolon again?
He can't take it with duress.
Okay, he can't. You're right. You take the lightning bolt then. The one with the most options. Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back in here. I'm always going to keep commentating. I'm going to check with the judge and see if we can have players leave their phones. Now that I've thought of it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
All right. Looks like a fetch land off the top for Edward. Immediately cracks it. With both players at 19 now, having fetched. As he's got double shock in hand, yeah, I expected a basic there. Now, should be lava spike coming out of hand. Nope, the eidolon, of course. Lightning bolt off the top for Nathaniel. Lightning helix now in Edward's hand. Should be attacking for 2. Yep, there it goes. Nathaniel lets it through.
All right. What did I miss?
Duress took lightning bolt. He then
Looks like an Eidolon got in there.
Played Eidolon. Nathaniel hasn't done anything yet in response.
He did fetch that first turn, so what was Nathaniel's life total at?
He's
Should be at 17, right?
no, yes.
Okay. So the official, our great judge, Jonathan Reasoner, has informed us that he will be accommodating to the stream and that he will tell players to leave electronic devices just in case. Like I said,
When they enter
like I
the
said,
restroom.
we stopped talking about it anyways because we were just wondering where he went.
Right.
But it's always the
In the
just in
future.
case scenario. You don't want players hedging on, you know, what we're trying to do here, right?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so he's
There's
gonna
another
fetch.
Into play tapped.
I believe that's a Blood Crypt. A Blood Crypt or Sacred Foundry?
I believe that's Foundry. Now he's got Lightning Bolt in hand. Don't think he's going to use it quite yet. He doesn't need to. Another fetch land and pass.
All right, so if he has Helix here, that's pretty good. He gets to get rid of the Eidolon, gain 1, essentially, right?
Let's see. I see. There's
And
a
then
Helix
his opponent
there.
has Helix, so Edward's only going to gain 1 because of the Helix, triggering off the Eidolon. And Nathaniel's going to take 3. And then Nathaniel's going to take another 2 to bolt the Eidolon.
Dropping him down to 11. Now Edward has
Should
Lava
actually
Spike.
be at 10.
10.
Yes, because we had fetch. We had Eidolon for 2,
Yeah.
so that's 4, and then we had 2 3s just now. Or no, we had a 3 and a 2. You're right. 11. Just double checking.
Doubting me.
I want to make sure, man. Every point of burn matters. Trust me, I know.
There's the Lava Spike coming out of his hand finally. I believe he's still got land plus card.
Yeah, Edward's
That's a
in a
pass.
decent
And
spot
a
here.
fetch from Nathaniel.
Yeah, he needs to get in his fetches while he can.
Yes.
They become very dead at a specific point.
There's a Godless Shrine.
Yeah, I know that artwork very well.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's phenomenal artwork. Kind of this rustic temple sort of situation. All right,
There's another fetch.
and we have
Gideon.
of the Trials. Another card, like we said previously, just demands an answer here.
We see the emblem again. We are.
I like that he writes on his emblems, like for the moment, wherever he needs it to be. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Super interesting way to play. I enjoy it.
I appreciate that he's doing it as well for the viewing audience.
Oh, absolutely. All right, looks like Bloodstained Mire.
Sacred Foundry.
What was the third card? Looks probably Lava Spike.
Lava Spike. Yep. Do you kill that Gideon?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm fairly certain you have to. Yes, there it is.
The Gideon's gonna get answered, but like we said before, Nathaniel could just have Gideon as the follow-up, being ally of Zendikar, right? Nathaniel opting to not fetch.
Yep. Plays another fetch. They're Marsh Flats.
It's always interesting, these decks that deal so much damage to themselves.
Yeah, but Nathaniel's ability to reset his life total back to 20.
I mean, yes. As a one of, granted.
Yes.
Alright, looks like Bolt in Edward's hand. So he's
Plays
playing the
fetch.
Bloodstained Mire, Sacred Foundry, and Bolt left in hand. Alright. We have a tapped Blood Crypt, I believe.
Yeah, I believe that's a Blood Crypt. There's a
Meaning the other one
fetch.
is Sacred Foundry.
Fetch
Oh,
from
man.
Edward.
Expeditions on camera. You're gonna have to talk to Nathaniel about this. He said he was interested in having a feature match, and then he does this to us, right?
He's just gonna tell us to deal with it.
Is that who he is? The type of person?
Yep.
That's okay. I appreciate that. At least you're honest. All right, let's see what we got out of Edward here. All right,
There's an Eidolon. All right. Creature to start pressuring.
So really interesting. Real quick, I picked up some revised dual lands. Terminate, gonna eat that Eidolon, and Nathaniel's gonna take 2. Picked up some revised dual lands yesterday. Or Thursday. One sold yesterday. The rest sold today.
I mean, we had a full house.
Yeah. Edward's gonna take 2 off of his own Eidolon, and Nathaniel's gonna eat 3 here, possibly. It looks like Nathaniel's thinking about fetching. Edward does correctly have 1 land open, though, to scare Nathaniel here.
Now, we know it's only a Sacred Foundry.
Yes, absolutely. So he's
Debating which
okay.
fetch land. Okay.
So he's gonna go down here.
Get the basic, of course.
Yeah.
We're gonna see Blessed Alliance.
Blessed Alliance or Helix.
Blessed Alliance.
So he's going to go back up 4. And then he's going to eat the 3 from the Bolt. And is that a concession?
Yeah, he gained 4 there, and then he went 3, 2, get attacked for 2.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so it's Burn taking this one. Kind of a classic strat.
That was quite the game too.
Oh,
quite the game too.
Absolutely. So since you know the thing, you want me to bring him in here since we have a bit more time?
Yeah, bring him in. Let's see if he wants to come in.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting there, I'm just going to start resetting everything back as they're shuffling. That was quite the game there. Like the set. There are D sideboardings. We're going to have to wait for that. Get Chad back in here until they're ready for a small interview.
See if we can get you got the face cam ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, get the face cam ready, and we're gonna have from Nathaniel come in here.
All right, Chad. What did you guys think of that match? It was. Oh, what is that? Oketra's Last Mercy? The spice on that out of the sideboard just to reset his life total back to its starting number. Fantastic in the burn matchup. I see Nathaniel coming in here in just a second. He's making his way. All right.
Feel free to have a seat, right?
Have a seat on my box, Nathaniel.
Alrighty.
How was that? Okay. Game 3 obviously didn't go your way. But Game 2, that Oketra's Last Mercy.
Yeah. The card's great.
It caught us off guard. Talk to me.
Sure.
Where did you... How long have you been on that?
Well, it actually came out, and I was, like, reading it, and my friends were like, that card's marginal, and I was like, it's great. You just gain infinite life if you play it correctly. So, like, most of the time you want to play it in a deck that has, like, hand disruption, so you can take the Skullcrack or Atarka's command.
Of course,
and then cast it. And I'm playing Mardu, which has both of those colors. So, I've been on this card. A lot of my friends criticize me for it, but I like it.
I mean, I think they might be wrong. I almost wish you had a second one in the sideboard. Going from 4 to 20 against Burn when they've got 2 cards in hand.
Yeah, I like it because in this deck I play, like, 9 planeswalkers, so like tapping out if you have a planeswalker isn't that big of a deal because you have you can still play the game while you're tapped out. And even against Burn, even if you have to tap out, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, it was close. You almost turned that corner Game 3.
Yeah, Game 3 I had the Blessed Alliance. I was just scared of Skullcrack, so I didn't want to just
run it out there. Yeah.
And he drew an Eidolon, and I didn't really have an answer for it. I could have Nahiri'd it and exiled it, but I didn't want to tap out for it and then him just have double bolt because I only had 2 fetch. I had 2 fetches and I don't want to fetch Blessed Alliance because at that point.
You kept drawing fetches instead of other lands, and it was putting you at risk.
I had a lot of cards in my deck that I didn't draw in either of my games. I didn't draw my Collective Brutalities, my Lightning Helixes.
No, we didn't see any of that. Yeah.
So yeah.
So we had your deck list here, and we figured you had some play, but you just never got the cards that you really needed.
Yeah, I just didn't. I drew a lot of the cards that were irrelevant in the matchup that I needed to be in there so I could win the game.
But they
were
really
all
help
in
you
my opening
survive.
hand, in the beginning of the game. So it happens. It's magic.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's just one loss.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see you again later.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Hey, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, guys. It's about 10 minutes left in rounds. So we're gonna take a break and then come back to you with round 3.